Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. I am also still getting set up. Give me about 6 hours and I'll be ready. I turn that music way down. Turn it up just a little more. I want to hear it. I love this music. The music, by the way, since I haven't mentioned it in a while, is brought to you through a service called Slipstream, slip.stream, where they have royalty-free music. I think most of the attribution is just letting or putting on your stream if you want to have the music come through on the VOD, where the music is coming from, kind of stuff. This is what I'm looking for. Log in. Be ready shortly. Someday. Man, I just updated OBS. Not OBS, Discord. I pushed the update button this morning and there's another update. What? I like CI/CD and all, but when you have updates every 15 minutes, the thing that I don't like about updating Discord is it'll switch my audio device, my speakers, which I'm using my headphones, to call mode, which makes everything that I'm listening to go really loud, and it's really annoying. Okay. Pause. Okay, that's paused. What's next? I need to copy this. Pasta you here. All right, that's done. What else? Oh, put on my comfy blanket skirt thing. It's just a blanket that I wrap around my waist because it's really cold down here sometimes. And it's just comfortable. What else we got? There's that. There's that. Move my little standing mat over just a bit so that I can be in streamer mode. Okay, so we are good to go. I will pull over Figma. Get over to the financial management tracker. Move you over here, and we're good. The stream hath officially started. Hello and welcome. I am One Lion. If you have never been here, welcome in. If you have been here, welcome in. The end. What we've been working on lately on the stream is organizing the Figma design files for the financial management tracker redesign. The financial management tracker is an app, web app, a cross-platform application that we developed on stream as a community, where it was mostly me just writing code on stream and you guys chiming in, which is awesome. I love that. But it is open source. You are welcome to fork it, do PRs, whatever. The functionality is for the most part there. The main issue is that it's not very pretty. I would show it to you. Well, actually, I am going to do that because I want to show something that I ran into, and I think it is a result of the latest Visual Studio update, at least according to the stuff that I found on the interwebs. And I might even show how to fix it. And then, of course, give some information why I did the thing that I did that's causing the issue, that is most likely causing the issue. I haven't actually applied the fix yet, but we're going to find out. Loading. Of course, welcome in. Feel free to chat about the room. Say any of the things that you feel like saying. Okay, we are loaded. So if I try to build, I haven't made any changes since the last time that we looked at the app, which I believe was last week, either Wednesday or Friday. I don't really remember, but we just, or maybe it was Monday, we just looked at the app. I showed it in Maui desktop and I showed it in Android. I'm pretty sure I did. But if I try to build now, you'll see these errors currently because I did a full clean, deleted the bin and obj folders and everything, and it hasn't been able to successfully build since then. But anyway, if I build now, the error that I'm getting is unhandled exception, system missing, method exception, method not found, system collections, IEnumerable, node state entry, system value tuple, node state. So these are things that I'm like, I didn't use anything in my code that uses node state entry or node state table. This is kind of sounding like code generation. And I didn't fully go directly to code generation immediately, but now that I'm looking at them closer, it's like, yeah, code analysis, node state entry. This sounds like when we tried to use source gen. So maybe it's my icon class generator. I'm looking through here and I'm like, I don't have a real list of anything. I just use the initialize method, which is from the interface and the syntax resolver, receiver, whatever. And this is most likely where that gets used. But if it's that, if it's my source generator project, then why, oh why, is it happening when it tries to build my database migrations? And it's like, what? My database migrations doesn't even use or have a reference to the Thindle source gen fun stuff. And so I was looking around, I was trying to figure it out, and then I went onto the interwebs and did some more searching, and there is indeed an issue with, oh dear, where did I put it? I don't know where I put it. Crikey. What would that have been? Get hub. Yeah, this one. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this URL, bring it over here. So I came across this, and this happened in 2023. And this has something to do with Striker, whatever Striker is. But as I'm, oh no, it wasn't that one. There's another one. Dang it. I can't see that far. BS 2022 build fails. Is it this one? That one's the Striker. This one. Aha. Okay, so starting on May 23rd, 2024, someone posted that project build fails after new Visual Studio upgrade, and I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I just upgraded Visual Studio. After reading through all that, the short answer is, wait, is this new? This looks new. Oh, right. And it took me to this issue. Gosh. And the short answer is that it seems to be an issue with the latest .NET latest Visual Studio 17.10. Thanks for everyone who updated the logs. Have a pretty good handle on the situation now. We'll be patching 17.10 to fix this soon. In the meantime, you can work around by either installing this package into all of your projects that are impacted by this, every single project that's impacted by this, or create a directory.build.props file, which this is the approach that we're going to take, but there might also be another approach that we can do that'll fix it. So it's either wait for the patch for 17.10 or add this. But there is a third option that I'm going to try first, and that is that this seems to only be impacting people who have a global.json in their build path somewhere. And so what I'm going to do what I'm going to do is I will change the version in my global.json. So the reason that I'm using a global.json, and I think I'm saying this before even verifying, the reason that I'm using global.json in this solution is because I had the .NET Preview SDK installed, and I tend to use the command line when I use .NET Run and all that stuff. And so I wanted this solution, all the projects in this solution specifically, to use version 7 because I had 8.0 preview. But since 8.0 is out now, we may as well change this to 8.03, which is step number 1 of this recommendation. And this wouldn't require us to undo anything, I don't think. And then we should be able to let's see if there are new compilation errors or if we can actually build. And hello, TBD Gamer. Fantastic stream this morning. If you guys don't know TBD, well, I should wait until there are more people to do the shout out. But for now, let's do an SO with a video clip. If you guys don't know TBD Gamer, he's an application developer who also likes to dabble in Godot game development on Mondays and Tuesdays when he's not working on the community project on his stream called Water Drink Water. On yesterday, he did a PR review for Water Drink Water, but then jumped right back into game dev because it sounds like he's having a ton of fun with it, and I love watching people have fun. So great stream to go to if you just love seeing someone that's enthusiastic about what they do. It might not come across as enthusiastic. He does have a pretty calm personality, and I also love that too. But on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so today, for example, he was working on Liquid Sky, which is a project that he is doing that is a project management application geared towards developers, and so he's just doing that as well. So I usually tend to hang out on his stream pretty quietly, just doing my work alongside him, which is really nice. That's what happened. Okay. Yeah. TBD Gamer.
In your Discord, like some of the members being like, well, you know, Google is cheating, or you know, I feel like I'm a fraud if I'm using Google, that sort of stuff. Knowing how to use Google is just one part of the skill set, right?
Yes.
Well, people do believe it. Like they've, you know, that imposter syndrome is made worse, especially if you believe that, where you believe that part of being a
I wanted to hear that whole thing. That is a great thing to just give people more confidence in. It's like using your resources to figure out an issue is not cheating, and it doesn't mean that you're worse than somebody else who can probably come up with an answer off the top of their head. It is a skill. It is absolutely a skill. So, yeah. Encouraging people to use their resources. I love that. So anyway, that's a little bit about TBD Gamer. We'll do a full proper shout out, hopefully, if I remember, with the whole follow. But if you're here now and you are interested in following great application design and development, then check out TBD Gamer. Hey, here's the rest of it. I need to get a browser that you guys can actually hear. See how loud this browser is. It's
one
super
part of the
loud.
skill set, right? Well, people do believe it. Like you know, that imposter syndrome is made worse, especially if you believe that, where you believe that part of being a good programmer is being able to know it all, right? If you're taught that, or people make you think that way, then that's the way you're going to go. Knowing how to use.
No truer words have been spoken. Actually, there probably have been truer words or equally true words, but you know what I mean. Those are absolutely good things to just know. Cool. So that was cool. All I had to do in order to fix this build issue that happened because I have a global.json file that was targeting .NET 7, a version of .NET 7 SDK, is upgrade it to use my non-preview version of .NET 8, which is the whole reason that I had my global.json file. So at this point, I don't even need global.json because I'm okay with it using the .NET 8 SDK for doing all of the compiling, even though this is targeting .NET 7 at the moment. See here? Oh, my nose. Especially since we're going to go ahead and upgrade to .NET 8 eventually when we do some actual coding. Oh man, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, it passed. I don't gotta sneeze. So anyway, I am getting rid of the global.json, which is way up here. I don't plan on installing any more Visual Studio previews on this machine. Yeah, I just don't. But hopefully it'll just be easier for anyone else that's encountering this issue to see where what may have been causing it for them is what I'm trying to say. And why does this have an aliases suddenly? It shouldn't have any aliases. Okay, number 2 thing that I am interested in is I was talking with a friend yesterday, and it's weird to say that. I have friends. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and he was showing me a little bit about how he hosts an Azure static web app that has a whole bunch of functions that pretty much makes it pretty free to host an application on Azure, or at least stay under your monthly credits if you have a partner membership type thing, like an action pack, for example, which is the main reason that I was talking with him, is to look into purchasing an action pack, or the action pack membership, partner membership, and comparing it to the new partner success membership and the partner starter, or whatever the first one, intro one, is called. So anyway, just talking with him through all of the benefits of each one, because he is very knowledgeable and I trust all of his reasoning and logic, and yeah, cool person. Anyway, moving on. So he showed me how to set up static web apps by pointing it to my GitHub repo. So for example, the GitHub repo for this project, and it creates this for me, which is a GitHub action. And this GitHub action is for publishing to the Azure Static Web App. The problem is when I try to build, or when this thing tries to build without me making any changes to it, the error that happens that I don't know how to fix is that it's trying to run the TypeScript build job. Is that what it's called? Why can't I see the actual log? Sign into view logs. How am I not signed in? That's very odd. That's very, very odd. Okay. The error that I get says that I couldn't find this project. And so I thought it was specifically that it's trying to run Node when it's trying to do the Microsoft TypeScript build job step thing. But as I was looking up here, skipping project, Blazor UI shared components because it wasn't found, tells me that when I'm doing the checkout, or when this thing is doing the checkout for the build, it's not checking out the entire project folder. Yeah, it's only checking out the Wasm client project and the Wasm server project, but it's not cloning any of the satellite projects that it uses. So I don't know how to fix that. If anyone does know more about pipeline, or I keep saying pipelines, GitHub Actions, and could help me fix the YAML for this, I'd be very, very grateful for that. But until then, we'll just continue our work. So our work that we've been doing on the stream, as I mentioned before, is cleaning up the Figma design file and for the financial management tracker redesign. So that was the applications repo. This is the design for it, and I'm kind of doing it a little bit backwards because I wanted to start off with this design thing. I tried, and I wasn't very comfortable with that. And then while I was working with Sagetti, which is my former employer, for the client there, I had an opportunity to work in Figma a lot, and I got a lot more comfortable with it, and I'm actually enjoying working in Figma. Doing UI design. I'm still not great at it, but it is actually really quite fun for me. More stuff that I never thought I would say. Number one thing that I never thought I would say was I love vegetables. I love broccoli. I love Brussels sprouts. I love spinach, red cabbage, red onions, mushrooms. Anyway, moving on. Where are we? What's going on? I'm thinking about food again is what's happening. So I did do some very high level design work on this. I don't think I even used components all that much. The closest I came was this light and dark thing. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun to remake. So the hero section, the hero splash screen, some color swatches, a little bit of the typography for what to do. These should only show styles, and now I know better. I was like, how am I supposed to use this when I'm selecting text and stuff? But it's because I was supposed to, which I don't think I did. I was supposed to turn each one of these into a color or a text style. And it doesn't really look like I did, but yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. So we're going to definitely get that done. I'm pulling it over to a paid Figma design board so that I have more pages to work with, and I can actually use these color modes, which we explored on Monday. And now I know how to use color modes. So, for example, this is the redesign that I'm doing on my work product for the client I'm working with currently. And the way that I did colors here is I created a whole bunch of variables, like a lot of them. And the first ones that I did were shades of rainbow colors, essentially. I don't know why. As I'm looking at it, it really was not as valuable of a thing to do. But it did give me experience, so I got some value out of it. I started to understand variables a little bit more. But I ended up doing just shades. What I did is I picked a color and then using this. Oh gosh, I hate how that sits on top of everything. Was it real-time colors? No, it was one where I was looking up. Was it Tailwind? No, that's the one that converts code to or design to HTML. It's on the other computer, but there was a color thing. Oh, foundation color generator. So I took the color, the base color, plugged it into here, and then it gave me shades where 500. Oh, I didn't know that it. I don't remember it giving me like pseudo selectors for what each of these colors should be used for. I kind of like that. What it gave me instead before were these red 50, red 100, etc., etc. That's why. Because I selected material from the drop down. Anyway, so it gave me the color that I put up here at the 500, and then gave me shades from 50 to 900. And hello, Zaid. Zaid like paid. Did you? Did you get paid? Anyway, hi. So I did that for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And then I had to finagle my way through the black and white shades. I did it a little weirdly, but it got the job done. It did what I wanted to. And so once I did that, I looked at the colors that I was using in the actual application, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not using very many of these colors at all in the application, so I need to specify the colors that I am using in the application, and that was these here, and then these here, pretty much all of the grayscale colors. And then I found, oh, please work. Yes, thank goodness. I found the names of these colors by going to here, Plasta. And so, for example, one of the colors was 44494E. And I looked down here and I'm like, what color matches this the closest? And so these are from different color libraries or paint brands and stuff. Like Pantone is one that a lot of people rely on. Nice, shooting. And hello, good VJ. I mean, Snazzy. But I found the one that was the most similar, and this is like a 99.4% similarity. So I'm like, yeah, graphite gray. Let's use that as the name for this color. So I did that for all of these, and now I have all of these named colors that I am using throughout the app, except for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. What happened to blue, by the way? I just need a regular blue, please. Do. Oops. Excuse me, I need you to be blue. And I am associating it with blue 500. Okay, there we go. And you know what's weird? I think that might be a little bit backwards. Red, orange, yellow, green. Look at how light the blues are compared to the indigos. That's really interesting. Unless this is the light end of blue and this is where it starts turning to indigo. I don't know. I don't know, man. You have to use the you did use the artery redeem. And hello, Pepperoni Pizza. Welcome in. I have seen you around a lot. If you guys don't know, Pepperoni Pizza. I believe you're a streamer too, right? I see you around on BitGamey's channel a lot, and he has so many streamers that follow him that I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure you stream. Don't you stream? You streamed at least once before. I know that I'm following you. I have a lot of messages in my Twitch. What's going on there? No, I don't. I wonder if that was automated Roms's Twitch. But anyway, that's how I came up with the colors. Now you know. We have colors. I'm gonna say that this is blue. And that I still did it in the right order where blue looks like this. But indigo, like the colors for indigo that I got are not quite matching. And I guess I just don't know what color indigo is. Yeah, indigo looks very purple to me. So how do you differ from violet? Violet is pink. What? At least according to this site. So maybe I do need to update my indigo and violet. I don't know. I'll decide that later. Again, I'm not really using those colors anyway. But this really should be... Oh, did I not actually associate? Oh, that's probably what happened. I didn't actually associate this with the right color. Indigo 500. That's better. That's better. That looks more. Red, orange, yellow, green, go by. And then my named grays. Or neutrals, or whatever. So then I'm using those now in my actual color variables. On my themes. And on Monday, we went over using the modes, the color modes. So again, color modes is something that is only available in the paid version of Figma. So if you don't have the paid version, you could always create a new collection, one collection per theme, per actual theme. You could also put different groups in the same collection. So if you wanted to, you could group all of these together. Call it dark theme or light theme or whatever it happens to be, and then duplicate it and then call that dark theme. It's just harder to manage that way. Color modes, I'm definitely going to be sticking to using because I'm starting to use them with this redesign here and it's working really well. So this is what it looks like currently. I think this is what we started doing. Yeah, this is what we started doing for our color themes for the financial management tracker. We just created the new mode and I am replacing these purples. Yeah, And these are going to be 2, purple 4, 4, off. No, I don't have my off-white named color anymore. So what color were you? F6, F5, F5. And if we go over to our actual colors, where exactly did I put my color map? Am I really just using the colors from... No, this is local colors. From my stream project colors. Did I create a new design that's specifically the colors? Oh. Am I using these? Oh, duh. Da 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 da. I'm looking for an actual element on the page somewhere. These colors are coming from here. Arf. So we need to create an off-white. Then we can go back to our team and say you are off-white, which is this one now. Same with you. And so right now you can see that I'm making both the dark and light themes exactly the same. This one was called Graphite Gray. Let's do some dark color first, because I have those. This one was called Graphite Gray. This one was something like Dodger Blue. This is just white. We have white. I don't think I have just white. Color. Graphite Gray. And this still feels a little messy to me because I'm not organizing it the same way that I was organizing the water RMA water design. So we're going to go ahead and fix that as well. Let me make sure that this one is called Dodger Blue. 2196FE. If I go back here, are you 2196FE? Sure are. And was this 44494E is the graphite gray. And that is what color this is. Cool. Yay! Simple. And so you can see that even within your color variables, you can reference other color variables, which is pretty much like creating an alias for it. Whoops, you're just supposed to be white. Okay, so that's our dark theme. And that's also our dark theme. So we would probably want to figure out how to remake it so that colors are inverted or something. I changed the accents where different colors are used. But for now, let's reorganize this. Group those. Call them Buddha-Buddhas. I don't like that you don't go directly into name when you group something. Buddha-Buddha. You guys are neutrals. Ah, see, I did it again. I thought that I was in rename. You are loose. Okay, so that should be all the colors that I need. Again, we will fit. Well, no, I want to do it now so that I can show you the cool thing about using these color modes. So let's create a light theme by inverting the background some dark color with the text color. So the background color is going to be white smoke. Neutrals, white smoke. Where is white smoke? Excuse me, where are you coming from? Are you coming from here? Yeah, you are. Arf. Let's grab white smoke and dim gray. What are you, dim gray? 60, 60, 60. Color. White smoke. Pasta. Dim gray. Who out there uses the E in gray versus the A? Just wondering. No judgment, by the way. It's just a question. I've heard it both. Well, yeah, I mean, definitely heard it both ways. But which one do you use? You don't know what you use. Interesting. Oops, you were smoky white. And you are also, and you're going to be the invert, which is going to be some dark color, and you are going to be a smoky white. And you are dim text, and no, not, yeah, you are dim gray. So both of you are going to be dim gray, I believe, for disabled. Gray is more frequent in American English, whereas gray is more common in British English. Well, that explains it. Yeah, and that's usually the case for the different spellings. But yeah, you think that you use Grey more often, and then you looked it up and you're like, you know what? Gray with the E is British spelling. Maybe that's why I usually do EY. E-by. Disabled. Diabled text. It's exactly what we need. Diabled text. Gosh, that's going to be really hard. I think I'm going to keep the buttons exactly the same, regardless of whether you are using light mode or dark mode. Problem will be that the primary text cannot be text primary for that color mode. It would have to, in this case, be the primary background. Oof. Okay, same thing with the borders. Is it the same thing with the borders? Should I give your border the background color? I don't know. We'll have to see it. I still use the same toggle button colors, and then section backgrounds. All I'm gonna do is invert the. Oh yeah, and then I might need to do section text. I'm gonna leave these the same as well, and hopefully this is enough that we can see a difference when I use it. So here's our landing page. component. Right. Landing page ultra wide. Landing page 16 by 9 ultra wide. Landing page 4 by 3 medium. Landing page mobile. And then I'm going to turn them all into components using Control-Alt-K. And again, you have to do these one by one. Then I'm going to combine them as variants. And so now we have our typical landing page component. So let's put some content on the landing page, which we don't have all of the content yet. I did start making things like the title row. Does anyone know where I put the title row? Is it you? Yeah, here we go. So let's copy this, put you over here. We'll put it in the right page eventually. But at the moment, we're just going to put it here so that we have easier access to it. Background is going to be transparent for this app. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and put it in here. Okay, so we want these to use the colors from our library. Right now they're using color styles. And again, we made these into color variables. So our button primary background is actually an app general, under themes, app general colors, button primary background. Same thing here, button primary foreground, or text, I guess is what I called it. The white is probably coming from the SVG, so I'm not going to touch that. And the fully transparent white is coming from the background. What is this light purple? Is that the border? Yeah, that's just this outline for the components. So which one of these whites is the right white? You are going to be text primary, I hope. Wait, how did we undo button primary foreground? You were supposed to be button primary text still. Yeah. And I don't know. Oh, the gray, or the mostly transparent black is the background on the lines for the hamburger menu. Okay. So what you can see there is that made our text and stuff look like it disappeared because it matches the background, but that's because these guys aren't using our library colors for their background. They're using pure white. So if we told it to use our app general colors, our background color, then now we got what we wanted. And we're going to take this and put it in here. No, you're supposed to be inside of this one. Oh, come on. You get one, you get one, you get one. This is the one for mobile. How did it still pop outside? Hello, Jamie, and thank you. Really appreciate it. Glad to see you. Hope you've been, as some people say, keeping well. Oh, it's way over here. I don't say keeping well, but I am going to say keeping well. All right, there's our mobile. We're going to change you to compact. Ooh, compact did not work. Oh, right, because we need to get rid of title and icon. Wait, where's my hamburger? Show title? Show icon. I don't know, one of these looks better. I'll let you decide. Is this the same project from last year? What was last year's project? It's been a long time. So if you're talking about the financial management tracker, then yes, this is still the financial management tracker, but what we're doing since we finished the development on it is we are redesigning the UI. And that is what all of this mess is about. Oh, you know what? The easiest way to do this is just to change the Y position to 0. Puts it right at the top. And then this one is the medium screen. So you go over here. You go over here. And you can already see that maybe I need to, on this screen, get rid of the adding on the left and right. Same thing here. Change your Y to 0. Squish you in. But yeah, I'm not gonna fully design the layout yet because there are a lot of things. Like I just copy and pasted this header thing over, and really, I don't think I want it to be full width or anything. With this padding, I think I want the or not full width, but I don't want the padding inside of this. I would rather have it hug the content so that I can adjust the left and right based off of where I'm actually going to put it on the page and what it's going to look like. But anyway, that gives us the header. So that should be enough to show you how to use modes. I don't know if I actually mentioned this on Monday, but the reason that I decided to go with this modes instead of the light dark thing that I was doing before is now I'm selecting one variable only per color. And if I wanted to see light mode, so let's say that I was sketching out the entire landing page, I could have a version that is the squished version, and that, or not the squished version, the dark mode version, and then a version that is the light mode version. And I can do that by changing, using this over here on layer, the theme to light, and it automatically uses the color variables from light everywhere. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And so even if I copied this over and I said, I want you to be the mobile version, it sticks with whatever color mode I gave it. And then let's say I wanted to change it back to the dark mode, then there you go. It's that easy. And I love this. TBD Gamer said, I shouldn't dread a meeting being confirmed, but meetings where people show off, here's how we're going to improve things in an environment that does not promote change and fails at delivery so frequently fills me with dread. That is sad. I feel very sad now. Thank you for sharing. Please tell me more sad things. What? No, that's bad, is what I meant to say. I really do apologize that you feel that, and I wish you had a different experience with your team. I'm really liking my team now. They're so cooperative. They feed off of each other's energy, and it's good energy. It's moving energy. They get stuff done. You know what I'm saying? because I sure don't. But anyway, that's how I would. That's not how I would proceed. That's how we are proceeding. Yeah, I mean, I really, really am grateful for the experience that I had working on that team. I really am. Yeah, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, but can you do this? I think I really should have one more breakpoint. So we have the ultra wide screen that I know I'm gonna struggle with designing for. Then there is the normal size 16 by 9, and then the medium screen, which is like, you're working in your on one screen and you've squished it down some so that you can see multiple browsers and stuff. But then there's the ones where you have like you've squished it down just narrow enough that the header might overlap itself, and so you want to turn the header into the hamburger menu. And this is on a desktop device, of course, because on mobile you pretty much always have that hamburger menu unless you choose well, I guess that's a lie. Tablets, you might have the full header and not immediately go to the hamburger menu. So this look. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'm still learning. Is someone gonna what's the different distance between you and you? 63. What's the difference between a duck? I've experienced one great team in my career and a couple of good teammates. Yeah. I've worked with a lot of people individually that are just awesome to work with. And I would love to be able to work with them on a project together. But I've only had one experience working on a development. No. I've had 2 experiences now working on a development team. And the first one was really good. I completely forgot about that. So when I took the temporary positions to do software development for the Department of the Army, that was really fun. And the people that I worked with were really, really smart and just helpful and cool to hang out with and learn from. I don't know why I positioned that. I need to change your size to something like 768 by 768. And this is when I would change you to compact. Would I still change it to compact? Because at this point in time, I really would prefer to have no padding, like I was saying earlier. It would really have to get this small in order for me to want to change it to compact. I kind of like 48 better. That's a nice round number. I'm sure there's guidelines for this somewhere that I could look up. Oh, come on. Why won't you be 48? Oh my goodness. I even turned my mouse into low DPI so that it would move slower. That was rude. TVD Gamer said, I want to work with teams that are not afraid to embrace change, but somehow I've managed to land in blameful organizations, which creates fear of bold moves, and it's a vicious circle. That's terrible. the what is the word? I'm terrible at finding words. The Umberto. The quality I seek the most from team members is integrity. Second, reliability. So integrity, doing what you say you're going to do. Reliability, just knowing that you are actually going, and it goes hand in hand with integrity, knowing that you are going to get your portion of the work done, and I can just focus on doing my own work without needing to feel like I'm going to have to clean up whatever happens. If that makes sense. Embracing change, like encouraging each other, I absolutely am a fan of. So complimenting, and not in a, just make each other feel special because, or only say positive things to each other. That's not helpful either. Encouraging, being, I like the way that you approach this problem. Have you thought about looking at it this way? As opposed to, you're doing it wrong. You know why that's failing? It's because you did blah, and that's the whole blameful organization thing. So, yes. Can you fit up here? Okay. Sure. Okay, so I want the rest of these components before I start piecing together the landing page. But hi, Disco. Disco came in to smile and laugh. Teams. One of the things that pushed me, by the way, to get the to finally get the Microsoft Partner Program subscription thing was I lost access to Teams. I thought I had normal access to Teams because that's how I was communicating with the client. And yeah, lost access to Teams, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to actually get Teams. But why would I buy Teams by itself? Why not get the whole partner program so that I could have Visual Studio Pro, all of the other benefits that come with the Action Pack or whatever other package they have, and the Azure credits especially, and also have Teams. So then when I was looking at that, it looked like Teams was no longer part of the Microsoft 365 E3 because everything said no Teams next to it. And so after talking with my colleague, my friend, for a couple of hours, maybe 4 hours, maybe 3 hours, I finally pushed the button to buy the Action Pack, even though we're both like, I don't know if it has Teams. And after we claimed the 365 package, I found out that it has Teams. I was like, phew. Very scary. It is not inexpensive. Okay. Enough waffling. Back to design. And of course, if you guys have anything that you feel like talking about, I'll talk about that instead of doing design. I think what I'm going to do for these is, if I have the option to, I would like to tell these guys to hug contents, which I don't have the option to. And I think the main reason why is because they don't have auto layouts. Did I structure them in a way where there is a left content and a right content, or it looks like I only have one header content? So with that in mind, I'm going to remove these from this frame because it doesn't make sense. Oh. Did I do it that way because because these additional links actually belong inside of the hamburger button. No, no, it's fine. It'll be fine. That's what I'm doing. I'm committing to it. So what I'm doing is I am moving the contents of the header outside of it, so it's going to be easier to work with, at least in my opinion. And it just makes more sense. Like, you wouldn't have a div just to have only one other div inside of it unless you're doing extra stuff with the outer div, which I'm not in this case. What tool is this? This is Figma. You got it. Yep. And so I have been working in Figma for not very long, but I'm definitely starting to get the hang of it and am actually enjoying it. Which is weird to say because my favorite phrase to say about UI design is I love working on the functionality of programs. I love writing code that you push a button and amazing things happen behind the scenes. You'll never know how complex it is or how elegant the solution was because you won't see the code behind. Well, I mean, you guys might, you're developers, but you know what I mean? The user won't. They'll just be like, oh, hey, that worked. Or not even think about it, which is the ultimate goal for me. Is I really would just hope that the user is using the app without needing to think, oh, I can't believe that that actually worked. Or especially the worst case, which is, man, this sucks. How crappy was that? I would prefer for them to just have an experience, you know? Wait, are you actually... Murph. I'm gonna make you all line up to the edges. This is gonna work. This is gonna end up being a good choice. And yes, I am trying to just convince myself of that. Thank you for asking. But how are you doing, Le Chiffre? Le Chiffre? I call you Lesh? Or Lech? Do you have a preference for how your name is said? Hey, Deflux. TBD says, as in the bad guy in Bond movie? If you know how to pronounce it, can you spell it phonetically for me, TBD? Because I don't know the character. How are you doing today, Deflux? If you feel like typing, definitely don't have to. If all you wanted to do was say hi, hello back. I don't want to make you type if you're just trying to be lurky. Working on code trying to do unit tests. Congratulations. And also, I'm sorry. I hope it works out for you. All right, I'm gonna add auto layout to all of these. And oh, is that why I ended up not using auto layout for these? Because as soon as I use auto layout, I lose the ability to have them space. Oh no, that works. Awesome. Okay, so if I tell it to space auto, oops. Wait, why did that stop working? If I tell it to space auto, oh, probably because I Control Z and it undid two things instead of just one. So go back to space auto, and then we click on one of them, and then we resize. Then it keeps the same amount of space in between them. Cool. And what happens? Well, I guess that doesn't really matter. Le chiffre. What you can find on pronunciation. Am I anywhere close? I mean, I guess that's more for anyone that has heard the name. Le chiffre. Oh, there's a pronunciation. Le chiffre. The figure. So then can I call you Lashi? Is that terrible? Is that a bad thing? Okay. Then I could make you guys, no, I don't want to make you hug contents. Dang it. Okay. So what that did here in our layouts is now you can see that I don't have the padding left and right, but that means that I'll be able to control that depending on the actual layout itself. The first thing I'll do is tell, oh, it's already doing it, but tell the header in the landing page to constrain itself to the top position and left and right, so that if I resize this thing, then the left edge and the right edge stay where they are. And then if I resize it vertically, then the top edge stays where it is. Good. Good. So to add the padding on the left and right, because layout is something that you can manipulate the instance of, I believe it's this one. Yes, you can modify the padding yourself for that specific usage of it. And in some cases, you actually just want a fixed width. So that'll be fun to figure out which one I want. We'll definitely get to that. Like on extra large pages, what I might do is still center the content to a max width of 1920. So what would happen if you were a max width of 1920? And then I told you to stay centered horizontally. Because we are the designers, we should know. Oh, right. And then I need to get rid of this. So you're back to 0. We should know that when we are using this specific version of this component, which is the form factor or size, I guess, width, size, form factor is what I'm going to say. That we would never make this window smaller than the max width of the header, because right now what'll happen is it'll just it'll let it bleed out. And because I have clip content turned on, it just hides whatever content is in there. So when I get to this size, that is my 16 by 9. So at that point, I would want to change the variant that I'm using to 16 by 9. And then the 16 by 9 is going to have the padding, and that's the one that we'll be able to resize left and right. So let's do that one as a 32 pix padding, 32. Yeah, we'll just do 32 for now. And so that, again, as the designers, we would know that we would never go smaller than our 4x3, which is 1080 wide, 1024 wide. And so you can see it squish until we are no more than, like, we would be simulating as you resize this that we're now at 1024. And so our variant, again, we would say we want it to be 4x3 medium. And we want the 4x3 medium to, once again, yeah, if that's going to be essentially the same padding, then we don't need this medium form factor. We really just need the narrow desktop, I guess is what I would call it. And that, how do you guys have yours? You don't actually say what your actual dimensions are. So I'm going to call it narrow desktop, which is going to be 768. And then it doesn't really matter what the height is for narrow desktop, but narrow desktop would only get as small as, or this is when we would change the padding left and right to just be something like 4. So it's not white on the edge, and then the content would fit the rest of the way. But then what happens when we get slightly more narrow than this? So I'm going to get rid of this one because it matches exactly the 16 by 9. And I'm not doing anything when the vertical height changes, at least not at the moment. Maybe we'll change that later. How many did I say was in between here? 48. I like 48. So the narrow, this is narrow desktop. Medium desktop. And then narrow desktop will be anything from whatever I choose here and smaller. So let's choose here. Like this will be the narrowest it should be allowed to get before we do the next change, which would be to, oh, what's the right choice here? Do we get rid of the title? Do we get rid of the icon? Or do we turn this into a hamburger? I'm pretty sure the typical thing is to turn the stuff on the right into a hamburger, but at the same time, I don't want to lose the get started button from the landing page. Because like this is the call to action. This is the easiest way for you to click on that, start using the product. And if that gets hidden somewhere, then that's not good for anybody. So what does that mean? I'm going to go ahead and turn you into auto layout too, so that if I add more variants, it'll be easier. Because I'm thinking of adding another variant where we have the hamburger button and the getting started button as well. So let's see what that looks like with these two. So let's turn on the... Wait, why don't you guys have the hamburger? Who has the hamburger? Ragnar. You go in here. No, just the hamburger. Oh my goodness. Give me this. There you go. Good. Okay, so hamburger, these guys are hidden. And the hamburger will go after the getting started button. Is that just weird? Kind of seems like the hamburger should be where the app title currently is in this case. But then we're moving it around in ways that don't make sense. Let's create a new property. I'm probably going to end up undoing all of this, but let's create a new property called style. Ultra wide. For you. Wait, ultra wide for you. Narrow for you. Or, yeah, let's just do... What am I going to do? Wide. You. Narrow. And then you're going to be wide. Don't really know. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's what I need instead. Let's turn this into... hamburger position. Hidden. Okay, so you, ampersand you, ampersand you, ampersand you, all have hidden. Hidden hamburger. And you, and you, because I'm going to change this one to have the hamburger on the left and the button on the right. What am I trying to say? Right. Help me. All right, and then you and you are left. So then does that mean that I really want another variant with, and I'm just testing things out. So if I'm getting this wrong and any of you notice, please let me know. Or if you have a better way, especially if you have a better way or a more standard way. Doesn't necessarily have to be better. It's just what's more expected. Show call to action. That's such a long name. Show call to action for all of these will be true. For you, it'll be true. For you, it's false. And then hamburger left means that we need to modify you such that hamburger button goes with the app title. May as well do that too. And then the get started button is the only thing that shows there. Okay, so we really don't need this one because it looks exactly like this one. So that's good. We might need another one of these with left and the hamburger button. Yeah, I guess all that I'm really doing with this is giving myself options so that I know what it would look like in each of these different scenarios. Dang it. Oh, you're not going to let me size you differently, are you? Okay. Okay, I have more ideas. So something that I'm noticing is I'm trying to customize various sections for how I want them to look. So I'm seeing four primary app titles. So let's create an app title component. And this app title, this one is specifically going to be app title default. This one here is going to still, oh, that's another one too. I could break it down even further. So I'm thinking about this on how I would break down a Blazor component that would represent each of these. And so this is an icon component, and an icon component could maybe have different sizes that you pick from. So this is, I'm actually going to call this app logo. So I'm going to put it in a frame so that when we create a component out of it, it's easier to manipulate. And we'll call this app icon default size, app icon small. And we'll turn it into a component, turn you into a component. And what size are you? I'm just going to copy it and paste to replace. I don't like that you're not a square. And then I want you to hug. Why didn't you actually hug? Thank you. Because I need to be an even number. Won't forget you. Okay, so my icon currently, my app logo is what I meant to say, currently has two sizes. Oh, what did I do? Okay. Mine is variants. Take this, paste it in place of this. So now this is a component. So this is going to be app title default. What am I trying to say? This is actually going to be app title with two properties. Oh, which it's not a component yet. First property is show icon. Second property is I don't like that. I think I'm going to do something more like this, and tell me if this makes sense to you. Icon plus title is going to be my property. Still going to make you fit the content vertically and horizontally with no padding. There we go. Okay, so app title that has the icon plus title. And the reason that I want that is because I'm going to have a version of it that has, oh, and then I keep saying icon. This should be logo. Logo. I want a version that has no icon and a version that has a small icon and a version that has the hamburger menu and a version that has the get started button because of localization. You might do right to left. All right. Thank you so much for being here, TBD. Enjoy your meeting. And I say enjoy lightly. Please take it with a grain of salt. I am wishing the best for you in your meeting, but thank you. Okay, so I want. Oh. Yeah. I don't need to worry about logo size. That's why I did the whole logo thing on the left. Um, this one is going to be title plus logo. Or actually, this one is going to be title only. Right, because the one right above it's going to be title plus logo. Title only. Man, we're getting there. I'll explain it in a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, so title plus logo. And the reason that I'm doing this is, like I said, localization, where maybe you are using a language that has right to left. And so you're flipping your entire page. And if you do that, then the logo goes on the right and then the text would go on the left. But of course, it would be localized text in a right to left language. So it would still, actually look correct. Title only. And then another one is going to be logo only, of course. And then hamburger. And finally, call to action. Get started. It's Stargate. But okay, so you can imagine what these are going to be. So logo only means no title. Title only means no logo. Do I want to keep you as fixed height at this point in time? It is fixed height. So, oh, the logo is. The container, please. Fixed height. So that when I delete this, we're not shifting up and down and we don't have to worry about restyling things and getting stuff to fit center. Blah. Cookies, tacos, mushrooms. Title hamburger. So I need a hamburger, please. No. Okay, I need to do that before I forget. Excuse me. Can you please fixed height? Thank you. And also while I'm here, I guess. Nope. I have to do it for each of you individually, don't I? I can't even constrain it vertically. Oh, no, that's what I was trying to do. Good grief, brain. Center left. That's what I wanted to make sure of, with a distance between everything of auto. Thank you. Thank you very much. So if we do, actually, no, that's a lie. I don't want you to be auto. I want you to specifically be, I don't know about 26. Some amount of rems. It would typically be 4 rems, but I don't know what that translates to horizontally because I don't know how wide a rem is. I definitely understand that it is one font size tall, but does that also apply horizontally? And if so, does a horizontal font size really mean 16 pixels, or does it mean the width of a standard character in whatever font you're using? That's inquiring minds would like to ask the internet, but too lazy to go to the internet and ask it. Um, okay, so give me this hamburger again. I kind of like hamburger plus title as one of my options now that I'm seeing it. So I'm going to duplicate you, move you down. Hamburger, hamburger plus title, title plus hamburger. Right, forgot that one. Oh, you're not going to give me the distance between because I have move. Okay, thank you. Hamburger plus title, title plus hamburger. I'm just like, is this really the right way to do this? Is this a good way to do it? Is this, do you hate this? Excuse me. Get started button only. Oh, I forgot to do hamburger only. What are you doing? I am redesigning the stream application, the stream project that we did together. And I'm doing it in an actual UI design kind of way where we are role playing as a UI designer who knows how to use Figma, who knows a little bit about HTML and CSS, maybe a little JavaScript, but is mostly just a UI UX designer. Even though I don't really have the full skill set of a real UI UX designer, it's something that I am trying to get more comfortable with, and mostly learning, having more familiarity with using Figma. And this is relevant to me specifically. Hopefully, it's relevant to you. But this is relevant to me specifically because, like, even right now, I left my previous job and I'm now working full time as a contractor for um, the Rocky Mountain Arsenal, the people that I used to work with. And so I am redesigning, or not even redesigning, I'm adding functionality to an existing application. And I'm doing that first by designing it in Figma. So I'm adding this functionality here. Why is your background blue? Whatever. That's what the background is in light mode. So I'm applying all of the things that I learned from working in Figma before and the stuff that I've been doing on stream to doing an actual job and using Figma to create a product. For example, changing this to dark mode, like a magic. My access, kind of like for as long as I am doing the UI design part, yes. However, I'm also writing the logic and functionality of. Why are you guys disabled? The logic and functionality of this application. So I'm full stack. Oh yeah, yeah, that's what this is. That's what the financial management tracker is. So yeah, if you've never been here before, um, my time working at Sagetti, then you probably don't know this. But I used to work for the Rocky Mountain Arsenal before I went to Sagetti, and while I was there, I helped them convert a whole bunch of apps from Java to .NET, and they were JSP apps, and I changed them to uh, .NET MVC applications using .NET Framework 4.8.2 at the time. As new versions of, thank you, don't mind if I do. As new versions of .NET came out, I updated the apps and continued going through .NET Core, still using MVC, and then eventually Blazor came out. Yes, RMA water. Eventually, Blazor came out, and so I started using Blazor as soon as it was available for me to use. I really, really, really loved that paradigm shift. And that's what made me a fanboy. So what I'm trying to show here is the Git repositories for not this project. Oh, here, you can see them here. So these are all of the repositories that I worked with while I was at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. And the majority of them were applications that needed to be converted. This one was added by me, the user man. This one, and this one were VB6 desktop applications that we converted over to VB6 WinForms applications, or I said VB6, VB.NET WinForms applications, and then eventually C Sharp, and eventually Blazor. So now they are all Blazor applications. Every single one of these, even the ones that used to be desktop applications. So that was a lot of fun. We stopped using this one, EDTC. We stopped using this one, SQL Web, which was an actual site that they could go to and perform database transactions. Like seriously write SQL and modify the database directly that way. And I'm like, if you guys are going to do that, instead of putting it out on the internet like that, how about if we just give you controlled access, because there wasn't very much to the app itself that helps them with the SQL. We give you controlled access to the database using SQL Server Management Studio for those of you that are doing this kind of work. And so we totally turned off SQL Web. The good news about this is I will be going back to streaming the development of these apps, including the completing the full migrations of whatever's left over, the functionality part of the probably this well maintenance functionality that I'm adding. But first, I really, really, really want to get through the role play part of being a UI designer for the stream project that we finished. And then maybe adding some functionality to it too. How many jobs have I had in my lifetime? Very few. I can count them on one hand, can I? Can I? Do I know postal codes outside? No. I don't know what you mean. Was that intended for me? um, I can name the jobs that I had. Aside from the things that weren't really jobs, so I used to live in a place that was next to a golf course. I don't know what you mean by do I know them? I know what they are. I know what postal codes and what zip codes are. Yeah. But I don't know what you mean do I know them outside. But anyway, we used to live next to a golf course when I was little, and golfers would lose their golf balls in the woods and they would lose their tees or just leave them. And so my brothers and I would go and find golf balls in the woods, clean them up, and we golf management tracker, and we'd charge like a dime or a quarter for each ball that we sold back to the golfers. So that was my first ever entrepreneurial business, selling lost golf balls to golfers. And I can still remember the smell of it. Um, Hello, Matt. So I don't count that one. And then the other one that I wouldn't count is helping out at a fireworks tent when I was in middle school. Who is Snazzy? Snazzy Gill is Good VJ. Do you remember Good VJ? Want to gain access to your location. Yeah, I just don't know what you're asking me about postal codes for. Okay, so now the real jobs. First job, I can't remember what order these two were in. I'm pretty sure the first job was a warehouse worker at the PX. So AFES Exchange, PX, Army Air Force Exchange. Um, I used to work there for a summer, maybe 2 summers. And then my next job, or the one that was just before that, was I worked as a burger flipper at A&W restaurant. My gosh, I loved A&W restaurant. They had the best chicken tenders, and coney cheese dogs. And then my third job was working at Sykes, which is a call center for DSL technical support. And I'm not really counting this next one as a different job than that because they sold that tech center or that call center to another company, and that company used the call center to sell gateway computers. So my job, it was either take that job or get fired. And not only that, I used to make like 750 an hour, and then by the time that company bought out Sykes, I was making $8 an hour. And when they were rehiring the people that were getting fired that used to work at Sykes, they were rehiring them at 650 an hour, and this is U.S. dollars, by the way. So I was making 650 an hour at that point in time, and then, so that's four, and then I went to work for the military installation, Fort Riley, in the human resources office as a student hire. So that's five. I stayed in that federal service position for 15 years, 13 to 15 years. And that was all throughout college. So that's how I funded my way through college. And then I went to the VA, which I still count as federal service. So that's part of that 12, 13, 15 years, however much that was. And then I got my first real development job at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. And then Sagetti, and now contractor. So seven W-2 positions, and then now full-time self-employed for 6 months. And then they want to hire me as a full-time employee in December. So 7 plus 4. Did that answer your question? Disco, are you new here? Okay, to look up address and map. I still don't know what you're asking, Disco. Are you asking me for any postal codes to look up on the map? Are you Oh, so you missed it. Anyway, 7 jobs and now self-employed. throughout my life. Throughout my life. Then what are you asking, Disco? Use more words. Do you know postal codes outside to look up address in map? Use your words. I have one job. I've had one job in my life, which is still what I have. Interesting. And is it one where you're on someone else's payroll? Like, are you an employee? Is that what you are also saying? Or are you self employed? Have you been self employed the whole time? Full time employee. I would use the terms that I'm used to using, which is a W 2 position. So, regular job, 9 to 5, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So, we call those W 2 positions because we are salaried and we have to fill out a W 2 form that tells the employer how to do our taxes for us. And yeah. Yeah, taxes. Yay, taxes. Oh, man. That was a long story. I use a lot of words. Um, wait, wait, wait. Oh, we're still up here. That's I was very confused at myself. Okay, so here's what I did. I created one component for, let's start with the logo. One component with the logo that has two variants. And that variant happens to be the size of the logo. Then I created another component that's just the title, app title area of the header. And the reason that I did that is so that I could have different variants for the app header title instead of making a whole bunch of variants for the app header. And when I do that, what I want to do is be able to expose the size of the logo. So in order to expose the size of the logo and not have to create a whole bunch of variants that say, here are the ones with logos, and then here are the ones with small logos. What do I call this? I call this the... Oh man, I have a default word that I use. I don't know. I'm just going to put contents for now because lazy. I can't think of the word that I usually use. Um, dang it. I wish I could. But I need to expose the contents or the app logo itself as something that you can choose when you're using the component. Disco, you're just putting question marks. I want to answer your question, but I don't know what you're asking. Help me out, man. Okay. So we need to be able to access the app logo so that we can tell it whether we want the large logo or the small logo. So I'm going to say, let's expose the app logo so that when we are using this component, then one of the things that we can pick is the logo size. And let's make it small again so that we can remember to center. Oh, wait, what? If it's auto layout, then why, oh, why Did it move to the top left corner instead of staying in the center? You should have stayed center. Hmm. This shouldn't make a difference. The auto layout is align left center. Horizontal gap is 32. And when I changed the size of it, that should have changed the size of app logo is still taking up the same amount of width and height. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, that really should have changed the size of your container. Nani? Hmm. Why can't you do hug contents? That's really odd. I was not expecting that. If I may say so myself. Oh hush fun. So anyway, the point is going to be, which we will get to eventually, that we're going to replace the usage of this thingy here in all of these, and then be able to change the logo size, for example, which we're going to get to have it center correctly and then have the financial management tracker text scoot over the way that it's supposed to. And then this one would be logo only, for example. And then this one, logo only again. Keep doing that. And then we'll do the same thing for this right side. And that way we really only need to have like one header component. And then in that header component, we would expose, just like we did for the title. For the header component, we would expose the properties for the app title, and then whatever we call the one on the right. And then when we use that, dagnabbit, then we will now see that we can choose the, not only can we change the actual content inside of it using these, well, we wouldn't even need these anymore, but we would be able to customize it easier when we use it in the actual app thingy here, the mock-up screens, just by changing the subcomponents properties. And so that would require the least amount of changes to mock up the screens in different ways. That's what we're trying to get to. So I'm going to leave a little note for myself that says, continue replacing header content with header, or not, with app title component, and replace the links with a new component too. Also, Okay, that should be enough to remember what we're doing, because we probably won't touch this again until next Monday, because we are out of time for today's stream. However, don't be sad. We will be returning on Friday already with another community day. So in 2 days, I need to start lurking on some people's streams. Big Gamey started late, so I wasn't already lurking on his. Okay. Yeah, so Friday, and we'll be returning on Friday. And Fridays on this channel are community days. So those are days where I invite you, the community, onto a voice channel in Discord to have discussions using your lovely voices. If you so choose to use your voice, of course, you don't have to. You can always join community day via chat only if you'd like, but we will focus on all of the things that you want to talk about. Sometimes I do have topics that I bring up first, but those, yeah, it's up to you. Oh no, Big Amy's offline again. But I try to let you lead the conversations and just go wherever you go and talk about them. So anyway, that's it for today. I will be posting the VOD for this to YouTube at some point in time in the future, most likely before the stream on Wednesday. Adios. But I don't always hit that mark. Could be anytime between now and next week. I'll try to do it more timely. And what else? Feel free to join our Discord. Like I mentioned on community days, I open a voice channel and you can hop into that voice channel, but you have to be in the Discord in order to do that. But again, no requirements to. If you don't like joining a whole bunch of Discords or you're already a whole part of a whole bunch of other ones, completely okay. Ours is not that crazy loud, nothing like that. Just nice and chill. At some point in time, the stream music stopped. I was paying attention. Great. Watch it be like at the very beginning. It's just dry me. But yeah, that's it for today's stream. I'll be back again on Friday, as I mentioned. We're going to raid out to a game developer. His name is Muniz, and he's working on a Metroidvania style game, and it just looks good. I love these types of games, so definitely feel free to stick around for that. Say hi to him, give him some love. I know he's a game developer. Not everyone is into game development, especially coming from an app development channel, but that's where I'll be hanging out, on his channel, on Sedalix's channel. If Big Gamey does come back online on Big Gamey's channel, Bardaki. Did I already say Bardaki? I'm going to say Bardaki again. Yes, Big Gamey is online again. So I'll be hanging out on Big Gamey's. But that's it. That's it for now. I'll be back on Friday. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but I'll be back on Friday. Ciao for now. We're going to dance. Okay, ciao.